Hey, hello guys. So, early morning, I am off to the place where I'm gonna hold a 3-day intensive. Just walking actually to the bus station. It's gonna be in the Swiss mountains. Probably love the view. I'm gonna keep you updated. Obviously, I'm not gonna share any confidential information, so we'll see what I'm gonna be able to share. But I'll document what I can document and take you with me on the journey. So I'll see you around. Alrighty, so we start the intensive. It was good. It was very good. It was good. We had a drive together to where we're to the location, and that's very nice because we got lots of time together, just talking and gathering. You know, for me, it was also a bit of gathering information and see how the person is doing and all of that. So that was really nice. And it's an important point that some people might miss, and that is the importance of relationship and connection. Because as a coach, as a change worker in general, you have a relationship with that person. And it looks to me like when you are in a connected feeling, your work becomes more impactful. So, spending time to build a good relationship and a good connection with someone looks to me like that's time worth spent, especially when it comes then to more challenging subjects. The person that has trust is more willing to follow you. Now, I do know as well that just because you have a good relationship doesn't necessarily mean that you trust someone with something, and that's a fair point. So it's a general statement, not necessarily that an absolute truth. And starting the intensive, what strikes me is the importance of taking your time and making sure that you build a solid foundation of understanding and of making sure that we understand each other. Because it's easy to just get started and fire away, but we sometimes miss then what's actually going on. Obviously, we can always correct. But it looks to me very worthwhile to slow down and see where the person's at, understand them, and then slowly guide them. In NLP, it's a term called pacing and leading, where you pace yourself to the person's view and all of that, and then start leading them in a different direction. And that's something that's very worthwhile. So, with those intensives, I'm in no hurry, absolutely no hurry to get anywhere. Because what's going to make the impact is what the person sees for themselves. It's not the information that I'm going to impose on them that's going to make the difference. It's what the person, her ears sees for themselves that's actually making the difference. So there's no hurry and there's no way that I can force that anyways. But the better the person understands where change comes from, that it comes from within, the more I'm doing them a favor, because then they become less dependent on the idea that they have to listen to me or to anyone else or anything like that. That's just a catalyst. That's just something there. It's useful to have. So, anyways, that's the first session that we had. Now we're on break, making some space. That's actually another important point. When I first started to do intensives, I used to spend lots and lots of time with the client, and it would be very, very intense. But what I realized is that just as important as the times together, the time apart is just as important. And the time to integrate and to reflect and all of that is very important, because again, it comes back to what actually makes a difference, and that's an insight. And it looks to me like there's environments where we seem to be more insight prone, where we seem to have easier access to that capacity. And creating that environment is the best thing I can do for the client. So being too intense is not very useful nor beneficial for the person. But having a bit more of a space where the person can let go and tap into that infinite creative potential that we have inside is very good. Anyways, I'll update you on after the next session, I guess, or in the evening. We'll see. Take care.
Good morning. So I haven't updated you from yesterday's session. It went all well. It was a bit tiring at the end. But that's what intensives are. They are intense sometimes, even when you don't work all the time. One thing that came apparent to me this morning is the importance of self-calibration. Especially if you're a change worker and a coach, but even if you're a leader or in a partnership or anything like that. And what I mean by that is, where are you coming from? What's going on for you? Are you coming from your insecurities? Are you trying to defend ideas and beliefs and concepts? Or are you coming from a place of connection and love and wanting the best and all of that? And, an idea can be hidden as wanting to do the best for someone else. When it comes to coaching especially, sometimes we get stuck in the ideas that we think are true. And that's okay, but realizing it is very important, because in the end it's all about the client and helping the client. Anyways, I think that's it. I'll update you as I go along, and I upload it. Probably going to be a longer video now. Anyways, take care.
Hello, this is the last video of the 3-day intensive thing. I don't know how to call the video yet. I just remembered I have to finish with this video. And the intensive went great, was really, really, really good. And especially the third day, lots has happened in the third day. And the reason why lots has happened was because the person saw that listening is an integral part of change. And what that means is that when you really listen, not just with your brain and your intellect and hear the concepts and ideas, but you listen with your heart, you listen with your whole being, and you get touched by something. You get touched by something someone says, or by something you say, or by a thought that comes into your mind. That changes you. That's what generates real change, is when you get impacted, when you see something, and it changes the way you see the world just a little bit. That's where change actually comes from. And so the client today really saw that and was exploring that with me, about listening and how to listen more deeply. And so as we were doing that, he suddenly had an insight. And that insight changed the whole game for him. And after that, it was like a flow. It's just a flow where things just came effortlessly to him. And he really saw something for himself that changed him. And so that's why I love to do those 3-day intensives, because there's no hurry, there's nowhere to get to. And that's why I also do coaching packages, by the way, because after those 3-day intensive, I like to stay in touch and keep following up with those people for up to a year or so, because it's deep transformational work that happens. And it's not all the concepts or ideas, it's those split seconds of insight that change a person. And so actually what a person is paying for is those seconds of insight that they get, because that changed their lives. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the series. I know I didn't fully document as much as I really wanted to in between the breaks, but I still hope it was useful. If you like my videos, subscribe, share it, whatever you want, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.